Good evening, beautiful people of the You Create the Dream page, and welcome to Awake in the Dream. This is our weekly Ask Me Anything call. I have a few pop-ups that are appearing. I'm just going to get rid of those just so I can keep an eye on the stats. I know the last couple of weeks people have said it has been glitchy at their end. Recordings have always been fine. It has been fine at my end, so who knows what kind of gremlins we have had to deal with. Do say hi as you come on. Let me know that you're here. I would love to acknowledge your beautiful presence. Thank you. Marina, you are here. um, I just commented because you mentioned on the Power of You program that you were watching the replay. So I was thinking, oh my goodness. I mean, who's going to be first then, right? So welcome, Marina. How are you? Beautiful. So lovely to see you. Do say hi as you come on, everybody. Let me know that you're here. I love to know who's here, and I just need to make sure I can see all the comments. Beautiful, beautiful. How are you, Marina? I hope you had a fabulous weekend. Happy Monday to everybody. I hope your weekend was magical. Alrighty, so this is our weekly Ask Me Anything call, an opportunity to ask me any questions that you would like answered, any guidance that you would like to receive. This is what this call is all about. Marina, multitasking, multi-listening, 2 pages at the same time. That's pretty clever. That's pretty clever. You got it worked out. You've got it worked out. So, okay, it is our Ask Me Anything call, so feel free to ask at any point in time, anytime a question comes up for you. Something that I was thinking earlier that I'd like to discuss tonight is the fact that there's never nothing happening. I've had 3 people in the last 4 days that have reached out and have said, I'm doing X, Y, Z, and how come things aren't unfolding for me? Or, so I feel like I've got something on my lip. How come things aren't unfolding for me? How come things are not moving quicker for me? Or I've been working for such a long time on this project. How come I haven't been able to cross that finish line yet? Good evening, Stacey. How are you, Stacey? I hope the connection is working well for you. I know you had 2 weeks in a row where it wasn't working well. So yes, I've had a few people reach out to me, and I really wanted to touch on that because the thing is, there is never nothing happening. And when we feel stuck, I know it can feel frustrating. I know it can feel as though there's no forward movement, but what if something pretty magical is happening? Okay, so that's what I really want to be talking about tonight. What's happening when you think there's never nothing, when you think there's nothing happening, right? So I've already said there's never nothing happening, but what happens, what is going on for you when you think there is nothing happening? Stacey's saying so far so good, fantastic. So, okay, first of all, there is never nothing happening. You're going to hear me saying that probably a few times during this call because I really want you to realize that in your down and out moments, when you feel that there's no way through, when you're feeling stuck, when you feel overwhelmed, I want you to remember this statement. Stop for a moment and realize there is never nothing happening. And the moment you realize there is never nothing happening, you're going to suddenly expand your awareness so as to look for what is happening, so as to see more rather than being so narrowly focused on, on the crap stuff, basically. Right? So there are always messages. The guidance is always there. The messages are always there. If you don't hear the whispering guidance or the blatantly obvious signs, then it's usually because you're too preoccupied with your own internal chatter, or you've got misplaced attention because you're focused on the very thing that you're looking at, the thing that you're looking at that's really not serving you. So if I'm going to what is it I'm going to do then to slow down the mental chatter? That's what you need to be asking yourself. I can't hear the whispers of my guidance, not because it's not there, but because I've got too much noise in my own head. And when you're in those quiet moments and you listen to that noise, it's usually self-defeating stuff, right? And then how come I'm not seeing all that's being offered to me? Oh, it's because I've, got misplaced attention. I'm focused on this. I'm focused on, the fact that things aren't working, that there's no forward movement, that, I have this misplaced attention. So the moment we realize what we're doing, we can make a different choice. But here's the thing, you don't know until you know, right? And that's what's really important, is to always opening yourself up to questioning, what else could this mean? What else could be going on for me? You want to open yourself up to the endless possibilities and the opportunities that are right there. They're right there, and they're trying to reveal themselves to you, because there's never nothing happening, correct? So what I also want you to realize is that, in fact, it's the space between things where most of the magic happens, if not all. Katerina, hello, beautiful. How are you? Good evening, lovely. So good to see you live again. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you're well. So it's the quiet moments in the stillness when we hear the whispers of our heart. It's the silence between the notes that makes music. Otherwise, it would be like one long drawn out sound, right? So in fact, there's so much magic created in the space between things. Okay, so I want you to remember that the space between things is where there is so much potency, so much power. So sometimes we can feel stuck, and it can feel like things aren't shifting. Like it can almost feel as though there's no movement happening, that there's no movement happening from where I am to where I want to be. So I know where I am, and I know that where I am and how I feel is and how I want things to stay. And I'm doing X, Y, Z, but I'm not there. Nothing's happening. There's no movement. This is the sort of thing I'm hearing, right? There's nothing happening. It's just, no matter what I do, it's just not working. Nothing's happening. And my answer is always that there is never nothing happening. Something's happening. There's something potent going on. What is it that you're missing? So it's a difficult place to be. Hi, Steph. How are you, sweetheart? It's a difficult, I honestly feel like I have something stuck to my lip. It's crazy. Like gunky lipstick. No. Alrighty. Where was I? Okay. Yeah, so if you feel stuck and you feel like there's no forward movement, and you feel as though, and I know it can be difficult because you feel like you're doing all the work, right? But here's the thing, if you are doing the work, this doesn't apply if you're doing nothing. If you're doing nothing and you want things to change, then that's your issue. You're not doing anything, right? But if you are doing the work, if you are doing it and nothing's happening, then what I want you to understand is that there is something big happening energetically for you. And Steph, this is probably a really great call for you to be on too. I know that we had a chat just recently. So everything comes down to energetics, right? But what if in the space between things there's a lot of magic, a lot of potency, a lot of energetic shifts and changes happening for you, and they're not always going to be they're not always going to be visible in your physical world. And this is why you feel that nothing's happening, because what you're doing is you're focusing on the physical world, looking for the changes that will show you that the work that you've been doing is working. But things have to change energetically first. And it can be uncomfortable. It can feel like you're getting nowhere. You might also feel like quitting. Okay, you might feel like quitting the work. It's like, well, I'm not seeing the results in the physical world yet. Like, what is going on? Am I doing it wrong? What's happening? And so the first point, don't quit. Don't quit. If you know where it is that you want to be, and you know that what you're doing is in alignment with where you want to be, and it's in alignment with your path and your purpose, then don't quit, because there's magic happening. It's a very, very powerful time. So what if the discomfort of feeling stuck, the discomfort of feeling like it's not working, is in fact a very powerful energetic surge? What if that's what's happening for you? That discomfort is new energy. That discomfort is a new frequency coming in. It's a powerful surge coming through that is completely reprogramming and rewiring you so that you can step off and fly. What if that's what's really going on? What if you're being prepared to take a massive leap? The music is between the notes. The guidance is in the stillness. The darkest hour of the night is the hour before dawn. The strongest energy is said to exist at dawn and dusk, at full moons and new moons, at like during the solstice and the equinoxes. So it's the in-between that matters, right? It's the between the phases where powerful things happen. It's between the phases where something energetic is brewing, something energetic is taking form. Something is taking place that will soon reveal itself. What if that's where you are? What if you're not stuck? If you're doing the work, if you're not doing the work, completely different story. This applies if you're doing the work. What if you're not stuck? What if you are in the making? So the void matters, and it can be uncomfortable in the void. It's a bit dark, right? But the void matters. When one door closes, another door opens. What makes them different is the space in between. So the space in between here and there is what matters. The space between what once was and what will be matters. So what matters is what you do in the void. What matters is what you do in this very moment, in this space of pure and present energy. Because if I'm in that space, I am between worlds. I am between what was or once was and what is becoming. So what am I going to do in this space? Because let me tell you, it's what I do in this space, how I feel in this space, that is so incredibly potent, because I can wallow in the pits and I can attract low vibing stuff, or I can go, oh my goodness, I'm here in the middle of this power surge. I'm in this energetic bubble right now where I get to really change things up. So who are you going to be in that space? Who are you going to be? The person that recognizes it for what it is and begins to weave your magic? Are you going to be the person that dreams your desires into being? Are you going to recognize that you are on the edge of that cliff? You're on the edge of that cliff of quantum possibilities, where anything and everything exists. Because in the world of energy, everything and anything and everything already exists. What you want is you want it to collapse into matter. You want it to collapse into a something. So anything and everything exists where you are at right now, if that's where you're at. It all exists there. But this is where you get to weave your magic and your desires so as to collapse that into matter and turn it into a something in your physical reality. I'm hoping that makes sense. I really feel like a lot of people need to hear this now. So, and as I say it more so, because when I first started the call, it was specific, for a few people that have reached out, but now I'm actually really feeling that there's a lot of people that need to hear this. Because let's face it, actually, even collectively, we are between worlds, right? We're in a time of transformation. So we are between worlds, and we get to dream our new world, a new, more enlightened world, not their great reset, the great awakening world, into being. We get to do that, right? So there are unlimited possibilities in the realm of energy. And it's up to you to weave your magic and to collapse it into matter so that it becomes a physical thing in your real world. Unlimited possibilities exist in the space between things, because in that space, like anything is possible. You have the capacity to capture the moment, because it's all energy. You have the capacity to capture this very moment and to create a new. Why? Because you are not your past. Your past doesn't exist. So you are not your past. Therefore, your future isn't decided by your past. Unless, of course, you choose to stay the same. If you choose to stay the same and expect a different result, there is a term for that, and it's called insanity. But if you're doing the work, this moment matters. This moment, you are between worlds. You are between the past self and the new self. You are between the past, your past existence, the way your world looked, and your future existence and the way you want it to be. You get to weave that magic now in the space in between. Your past has nothing to do with your future. It's what you do in this moment that creates the next moment. So what do you choose in this moment? What do you choose? You know, you've often heard me say in other Awaken the Dream calls and in my programs, I say it often, chaos always precedes evolution. A challenge always precedes growth, right? So this is like, this edge can feel like chaos. This discomfort can be your chaos. It can feel uncertain. You know why? Because it is. It is uncertain. You want things to be different. You want things to be, you know, different to where they are now, and you're doing the work and you're not getting there quick enough and what have you. And it is uncertain. But that's the magic of it. Like, there is so much magic in knowing that it's uncertain. You know why? Because if it's uncertain, then it's not predictable. If it's uncertain, then it's not fixed. It means it is open to all possibilities. I got truth bumps. Ooh, I got truth bumps. That's cool. It is not predictable. If you feel uncertain, how often, like, I'm just thinking about even myself, right? How often are we fearful if we're not sure if something's going to work? How often are we fearful if there's uncertainty? But the thing is, the only thing that's certain is change. So what if we began to fall in love with the uncertainty, and we celebrated the uncertainty, because the uncertainty means that it is open to all possibilities. Because if it's certain, it's fixed. Who wants that? I don't want a life that's fixed. Hey, Catherine, how are you? I don't want a life that's fixed. So why don't we start celebrating the uncertainty and realize that in the space of uncertainty, and knowing that I have the power right here, right now to weave my magic, then I can open myself up to a world of possibilities, and I can make anything happen, because anything and everything exists in the world of possibilities. And all I need to do is weave my magic so as to collapse it into matter, so to turn it into something in my reality. So technically then it's not certain until you've created it. But for many people, you feel fear. You feel fear rather than excitement. But where you are is at the point of creation. Where you are is at the point of creation. So then if you're in that space, okay, where you feel these things that I've mentioned, feeling stuck, feeling uncertain, all that sort of stuff, I can choose to be fearful and choose to create more of my predictable past, or I can choose to grab this moment, grab the space between things, grab the space between the transformation, grab the space between the leap, and make some serious magic happen. Actually, all this is reminding me of that quote, come to the edge, he said. We can't, we're afraid. Come to the edge, he said. We can't, we're afraid, we'll fall, they responded. He says, come to the edge. And so they came. He pushed them and they flew. They would never have known they could fly if they didn't do that, if they didn't take the chance. Change, the edge can be scary, but you're the one that's contributing. You're the one that has the power to contribute. So what is it that you will add to this moment? This moment is happening. This moment is happening. What is it you're choosing to contribute? This moment, in this moment, you have the power to weave your magic and collapse anything and everything into a something, into solid matter. The void can feel so very uncomfortable. You can feel like you've lost control. You can feel like you're losing everything. You can feel restless. You can feel frustrated. You can feel fearful. You can feel like there's just no end in sight. But that's you right on the edge. That's you, right on the threshold, about to cross over. The threshold of something massive, the threshold of a huge change. This is the energy of transformation. It's the journey of the caterpillar so as to become the butterfly, isn't it? Catherine, wow, I had the very clear message today saying don't be afraid. Well, honey, don't be afraid. Hey, Jo said, how you going? Welcome, 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 ladies. Don't be afraid. This is confirmation. I give you permission, not that you need permission, but I give you permission to not be afraid, to let go of all those limiting beliefs, to let go of everything that has held you back. This is for everybody that's here on the live and everybody that listens to the replay. I know that many people listen to the replay. Just say yes. Choose to just take that step forward. I know that there is fear and uncertainty, and I know that you can feel stuck and overwhelmed in between things. But I need you to reframe it. I need you to change the way you look at it. You are in between things, which means right here, I don't have to live my predictable past by creating same old in my future. But I get to create a world of possibilities because everything exists in this moment. And all I need to do is collapse that into matter. So think about the journey of the caterpillar to into the butterfly. It isn't an easy one. It isn't an easy one. But you can't become more and still stay the same. Like, that's just not possible. Your personal point of power, your point of transformation is in the quiet. It is in the void. Okay? It's in the moments of quiet and stillness. This is where you choose to bring the old with you, or you choose to let it go and you choose to become more. But you always have a choice. You have free will and choice. You have every right to choose to stay the same and have the same old tomorrow and the next day and the day after that. You have every right to do that. But to do that and to complain about it is not on. Because you need to accept responsibility enough to acknowledge that I can't expect things to change if I'm not prepared to change, right? So you get to make that decision now. Katarina, I've been on the edge near Bilpin, New South Wales. It was scary at first. Once I let go of the fear, I began to see beauty around. How beautiful. That's beautiful. All we need to do is open ourselves up to seeing, open ourselves up to hearing, to open ourselves up to realizing that there is never nothing happening. Okay, there is never, ever nothing happening. This is where there is unlimited possibility. If I stay stuck in misplaced attention, focused on the things that I don't want to see, focused on the things that I don't want, focused on the fears, etc., then I'm missing all the possibilities and all the opportunities that are desperately trying to present themselves to me. If I'm not quietening my mind, then I'm busy with all the noise and the BS that goes on in my own mind. How could I possibly hear the guidance coming through? How can I possibly hear the whispers of my heart? So the magic is in between things. The magic is in the stillness. The magic is in the quiet. The power is in the quiet. There is so much power in between things. So you're not stuck. You're not stuck. You are dream weaving in this position where there is a magical surge of power happening within you and around you. The void, your quiet, is your infinite power workstation. Let's call it your she shed or your man cave. So if you feel like that, maybe you're in your she shed right now. Maybe you're in your man cave right now, brewing up some serious magic. So I want to remind you that there is never nothing happening. that something big is brewing for you. Again, the darkest hour of the night is the hour before dawn. What makes the music so beautiful is the silence between the notes. Otherwise, it's a long, drawn-out note. When that cocoon looks like it's doing nothing, it is literally transforming on the inside. Massive, massive things are happening. It's about to be birthed into the world as something completely new, something beautiful and something magical. So harness the energy of creation. Harness it. Hold the vision. Hold the vision of that which you desire. See it, feel it, hear it, smell it, speak it, be it. Activate every cell in your being. My concoction cave. Here you go. I like that, Marina. Yes, dream weaver. I'm a dream weaver in my concoction wave. So activate your entire being, because we draw to us not what we want. We draw to us that which is a vibrational match, because everything is frequency, everything is energy. So get those feelings happening. We are all on the threshold right now, all of us, not only in our personal worlds, but especially for those that are into constant growth, right? We're always at the threshold. But not only in our personal worlds, but collectively, globally, we are on the threshold of something big. Harness the magic. And remember always, always, always that you are the point of creation. And that there is never, ever anything happening. Never anything happening. So I'm hoping that resonated for you all. It's... And I know that for those that are on, you've shared really lovely comments. So thank you. I appreciate that. Are there any questions? I do need to look at ending this call a little bit earlier tonight, because at 8 p.m. I start with module 2 of the Power of You. And it's a biggie. So for those that are in this group that are heading over to the Power of You, it's going to be a big one. I'm thinking we'll probably go close to possibly 2 hours. I have lots of stuff I want to share. But are there any questions at all? I love the concoction cave, Marina. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So for those that came onto the call late, I'd probably recommend listening to the beginning of the call, because I was explaining about all the instances where there is so much energy and power in the in-between phases, right? So I would highly recommend that. Are there any questions at all? And what I'd like for you all to do after I end this call is to maybe take a moment to look around you and just say to yourself, there is never nothing happening. What have I been missing? What is it that I've missed today? What am I not seeing right now? What are the endless possibilities that are presenting themselves to me now? And just be aware. And focus on your breathing. Stop the BS of the mind. Hear the guidance come through. See what's really going on around you, because there is never, ever nothing happening. Alrighty. Much, much love to you all. I wish for you a fabulous week. I look forward to seeing you next Monday night, 7 p.m. Actually, next Monday night will be our last Awake in the Dream for the year, and then we're back on the 10th of January. So yes, next week is our last one for the year. Much, much love to you all. I wish for you a fabulous week. I look forward to seeing you next Monday. And for those joining me on the Power of You, I will see you in 30 minutes. Much love to you all. Good night.